What's up guys, how are you guys doing? In this video I want to do a journey guide so people can understand how journey works and stuff like that, right? There might be people who still don't know how journey works or are a bit confused on it, so I'll try to explain as much as possible. And yeah, so you guys know how it works and how you guys should be doing a journey run and stuff like that. Okay, so let's get to the journey. Right, for this video I'm not going to be showing a full journey run, guys, okay, because that would take way too long. Okay, but what I'll do is I'll cut in between and show you guys what the parts where that you guys need to know and stuff like that. Okay, so yeah, that's how we're gonna do is to make the video as short as possible. Okay, so the first thing to keep in mind is when you are inside journey, you want to start farming journey when you get to the normal stage right here. Okay, the reason is because the max stars you could get on your main stars or all of the other stars, it actually increases from 500 right here, right? It increased from 500 to 750, right? Which is what you guys want. Okay, and of course the this stuff right here also increased as well, right? As you can see, 100%, but it's 150%, right? The bonus and stuff like that. Okay, so definitely start farming normal mode when you unlock it, but before you if you don't unlock normal mode, you guys can just do go inside the easy mode and just do the auto run. Okay, so let's wait until it's, so we're gonna pick whatever, right? So I'm just gonna auto this, and then what you guys want to do, you want just to auto. Okay, if you guys are doing easy, okay, you guys do not want to spend time farming manually, okay, on the easy mode. Okay, you guys want to start farming once you get to the normal mode. Okay, so that way you could actually get a higher status on your cards and stuff like that. Okay, so that's what you guys need to keep in mind. Okay, of course, once we unlock the hard mode, it doesn't say anything, it's bugged, right? There's a typo there, but it's going to be this is going to be unlocking later on. Okay, but right now for most people it's going to be normal. Okay, so definitely make sure to farm normal right here. So we're gonna go in here right here, and I'll use lazy for this showcase. All right, so we're gonna go with lazy. Okay, we're gonna pick lazy. Here you guys just pick the card you guys want to train, and then you go in, right? And now here is the important part. Okay, these guys right here in Uma Musume, guys, if you guys haven't played Uma Musume, we call these guys parents. Okay, and the main reason for these guys is they give you a head start. Okay, so for example, if I'm using lazy, so I want somebody that boosts, that gives me bonus on my damage and also crit or speed, right? So I want something like this, right? So let's look through what we have, right? So I want something like this, right? Because this gives me increase to my attack right here, strength status, and it also gives me the blessing that increases my crit rate, right, for my DPS card. So we're just gonna go in like this. We're gonna pick one, and then you're gonna pick another one right here, right? Here I am going to use this. This one's really good, right? Because it gives me a blessing that grants sense of speed as well. It also gives me more crit, and it gives me another 10 to my strength, right? So bonus gonna be, so it's very good right here. Of course, if you guys are trying to get training data for a tank, you guys want something like this. Okay, you guys want something that increases HP right here, right? This one's a really good one, by the way. And then you want a 3-star passive right here. Okay, that's the best one you guys can get. Okay, if you are training a tank, because your main stat is going to be HP, so you want you want to start with a bonus into HP, right? But for now we're just gonna go in like this. Of course, it says your rank is not a lot, right? But we're gonna go in like this, okay, right? And as you can see, it tells me, right, I have 10 from each, so it's gonna be, I'm getting a 20% bonus to my strength stats from the get-go, which is really good, right? And now we're gonna go in, okay? If you guys are training tanks, you guys want a bonus on your vitality right here, right? Because most tanks and healers, they scale off of their HP, right? And if you are using somebody that scale with defense, then yeah, you go with something that gives you bonus on defense. Okay, so we're gonna go in like this. Okay, that's the simplest way to understand. And now when it comes to your arcanas right here, okay, so since I'm training a DPS, you guys want something like this. Okay, you want a 3-1-1, okay, because you want the most card that to give you a strength boost. Okay, because that way you'll be able to get this strength stats max very quickly, right? And there's the event that triggers throughout the run actually gonna be focusing on the strength attributes. Okay, that's what you guys want. Okay, if you guys are trying something like a tank, and of course you want something that gives you vitality. This card is really good, right? Everyone uses this card. This card is really good because it actually gives you a speed bonus as well, which is really good. Whenever it comes to these arcanas, the main thing you guys need to keep in mind is the unique effect right here. Okay, this is what you're gonna be unlocking through event inside the run, and based on the type of card you guys are using, it will give you really good passives. Okay, some of them give you a speed increase passive, some of them give you like a crit damage increase passive, right? Some of them give you like attack increase passive and stuff like that, right? So you want to keep in mind the unique effect right here. Okay, when you look at the arcanas, right here. Okay, but yeah, this is what you guys want for your DPS. But if you guys are trying something like a tank, you guys want something like this. Okay, you guys want a 3-1-1. Okay, so you want 3 onto HP, right? Because most tanks and healers, they scale with, yeah, not just tanks, right? The healers as well, right? They scale off of their HP. So you guys want something like this. Okay, a 3-1-1. Okay, I have this one right here, the heal day one. It's really good actually, right? So I have this one, it boosts my defense and it gives me other things, right? And if we look at the unique effect right here, right? When bond points are at 60 or higher during training, additional endurance stat gain, right? Yeah, this boosts your endurance, which is really good, right? And then this one is always going to be good, right? Anywhere. I like this one because it gives you a really good crit buff, right? This is one of the base cards you guys want, okay? Crit, right? And it also gives you focus as well, which is really good. As you can see, if you look at this right here, when bond point are 60 or higher, during sensory training chance 130, which is really good, right? So whenever you get this, yeah, there's a high chance you're gonna be seeing this card in most training notes, okay? Because yeah, it's gonna be showing up more often, okay? But since we are training at DPS, we're gonna go on like this, right? With 3 into attack and then 1 for survivability and 1 for crit buff and stuff like that, right? Of course, for your tankers, if you guys don't want to use something like that, you guys can do another defender card right here if you guys have it, okay? Or you guys can do something that gives you focus, right? So if something that gives you something like this, right? This logo right here, right? Yeah, you can do something like that on your last slot, okay? But for me, I like going like this for my tanks, just to give them a bit of damage as well, right? But yeah, anyways, that's all about the arcanas. Now let's go inside the fight, okay? Oh, of course, before that, I do want to say, as you can see, there are different stats up here, okay? And then it tells you, right? Sense of speed is very good, right? This is what you can unlock when you are going through the training, right? Sense of speed is one of the best bonus you guys can get for your characters, okay? Anyways, let's get into the journey and we're gonna see how this works, all right? I'll try to make it as quick as possible. Now, the first thing you guys want to do always is make sure you guys are doing the shorten all events, okay? This is very important because it will make your run a lot faster, okay? You don't want to do any of this, right? Just always put it on the shorten all events, right? If you guys played in one with me, it's pretty much a copy paste of that, right? So you do that and you start a run. Now, when you start a journey, as soon as you get inside the journey, it actually gives you a specific item that is that synergized with the main character you picked, okay? For Lacey, for example, it gives you this one right here, the Azure Press. What it does is increase self-action gauge by 15% after using Ascending Fire Dragon. That is a specific skill to Lacey, right? And then in the enemy has Entangled Dream, right? So always whenever you start a run, it gives you these specified gears, right, when you start a run, so that way it will make fighting the enemies and stuff like a lot easier, okay? So yeah, just keep that in mind, okay? And then always you'll be able to pick the type of gear you guys want to start with, okay? Of course, if you guys don't know or you guys are not sure what to pick, you guys can always pick the recommended option right here, okay? The recommended option is actually pretty good. It gives you pretty good passive, right? For example, this recommended one, it grants self barrier for 1 turn after using a basic skill. Barrier is proportional to self attack, right? Which is really good, right? You guys don't want to pick something like this because this scale off of your max HP, which Lacey does not scale with her HP. She scales with her attack, right? So you guys want something that scales with attack, right? So this one's really good, but I like this one as well, right? Because it reduces self damage taken by 3% after attacking and increases self damage by 3% when attacked. Each time stack up to 10 times. This one's actually really good, right? For for long fights and stuff like that, okay? So, but this one's also pretty good if you guys are worried about survivability. But for now, I'm gonna pick this one because this one's pretty good. All right, we're gonna go. Bam. Okay, we're gonna skip everything right here. Okay, now we are inside the thing, and now the main thing you guys want to see is your objective to-do list right here. Okay, as you can see, there is, before you end the journey, you gotta do 45 different objectives, okay, in order to complete a run. Okay, but it's not that long, right? When you actually do it, it's not that long. But when you see it might seem a lot, but it's not a lot, right? So you have 45 trainings before you are able to end a journey. Okay, and it gives you all the details right here, right? It gives you the win within 20 turns and stuff like that, right? For the next quest right here, okay? But that's what you need to keep in mind. Of course, you got your stats right here. It shows you all your cards you used. It shows you what kind of parentheses you guys are using and stuff like that, right? And now the main thing you guys want to look at when you guys are doing training early on. I highly recommend everyone to focus training their endurance and vitality, right? Even if your character doesn't scale with HP or endurance, you still want to give them some, okay, so they could survive longer, right, inside a fight. And then mid game to late game, you guys want to focus on your strength main stats, right, so you could actually get it to 750 max stack, okay. But early on, definitely focus on your vitality and endurance, okay. But don't just spam those, okay. Make sure you guys are looking into your training notes right here, okay. Whenever you look at these training notes, it shows you the cards you used right here, okay. And these things, you want to get the cards affinity right here to max, okay, by the end of the run, okay. You guys want to do, after doing all your 45 to do objective lists, you want to make sure everything here is max level, okay. So there's some RNG involved there, okay. But for now, for example, right, I don't have a good one right here because each node only got one of these guys, okay. You ideally want one with multiple of these cards in one spot, okay. But for now, we're just gonna train depending on, let's say, I'll train. So as you can see, right, if you train strengths, it actually also trains your endurance and potential point. And potential points are very important because it actually lets you unlock new skills and passives right here, okay. So potential points are important, right. So strength trains 3 status. If you want to train vitality, it trains your HP, your endurance, and also your potential point as well. Very good. And if you want to train endurance, right, which is pretty good actually, it trains endurance, vitality, and also strengths, and also gives you potential point. Endurance is actually pretty good. And then if you want to train focus, focus will train your strengths and then your focus stats, right? And that gives you potential point as well. And then you have your protection training. When you do protection training, it trains protection and only vitality, right? So you know, each of them trained multiple things, okay. And then you have your percentage right here, okay. This shows how much stats you are able to gain based on this training, okay. You ideally want this percentage to be higher, okay. You ideally want it to be 300% plus, okay, because that's where you get the most amount of stats, okay. But since it's early on, it's gonna be like 140-ish, okay. So, but for now, like I said, we're gonna train endurance because endurance are really good, and this card is really good as well. So we're gonna train endurance right here, right? Oh, my should look amazing, but okay, another thing you guys want to keep in mind is your green bar right here, okay. That green bar is called your stamina bar, okay. You want this stamina bar to be as high as possible, okay, so you guys can actually lower your failure rate, right? As you can see, since she have a good amount of stamina, her failure rate is actually 0, which is what you want, okay. You ideally want 0%, right? You want at least, I'll say, less than 10% failure rate, right? So that way you don't fail trainings. Because if you fail trainings, you actually lower your status, which you don't want to do, okay. So yeah, definitely keep making sure this stamina bar is as high as possible. Is very important. The main way to kind of increase that is resting, but I would not recommend resting as a lot, because when you rest a lot of times, you're actually gonna miss out on training your main status and stuff like that. So yeah, so you know, which means it will be harder to get to your main status. So you want to make sure you don't want to be resting. Also, you want to lower your resting time as low as possible. Okay? You don't want to rest a lot. Okay, I'll say within a run you want to rest like about 3 times only. Okay, because you want to spend most of your time training your main stats and stuff like that. Okay, and of course some events that trigger throughout the run can actually give you a stamina boost as well. Those are the base ones. Okay, you want to kind of keep an eye out for. Okay, and now let's look at what we got here. As you can see, so here is what I mean, right? You want something like this, right? When you see with this multiple type of cards same at the same spot, you ideally want to focus on that, okay? Because that will increase their affinity bar and or bond level, and when you increase their bond level, their event trigger, yeah, they're gonna have a high chance to trigger their event, which means you're actually gonna be unlocking the passive attached to these cards, right? The unique effects, okay? Which is what you want, okay? So definitely make sure you guys are focusing on upgrading these affinity bars, okay? You here, for example, right? You don't want to do something like this, right? You don't want to do something like this one right here, right? This is only 2. It's not actually pretty good. It's better than only 1. But if you see like 1 only, like a 1 card only here, don't train that, okay? You guys instead, what you can do is when that happens, you guys can rest or you guys can do quests, okay? But for now, since we got a really good one, right, we're gonna trade this one right here, so we can increase their affinity level right here, right? And then yeah, I'll pick the sword right here for my DPS always, right? And it gives you a card right here, very good. But their stamina went down, which is unfortunate, right? And now let's look at what we got here, right? As you can see, this one's really bad because there's not only train not that got like a partner here is only the endurance. You don't want when this happens, you ideally want to do this one's terrible. You don't want to train here. You don't want to train when this happens, okay? Because you're not gonna get any extra stuff from this. So you ideally want to do a quest here, okay? And then another thing, when you are doing a quest, you want to keep an eye out for your rank, okay? This rank level 9 right here, that tells you how strong you are, okay? So when you are trying to do a quest, for example, it tells you okay, it's not yet, I'll show you guys later what I mean, okay? Okay, for here I am gonna do this one easy, so let's do this one. It gives me the most status. You can skip it and it gives you the coins, and these coins are important because you could actually spend them inside the trading shop, okay? And the trading shop give you pretty good stuff as well. So yeah, it's already 60 millimeters. Yeah, that's crazy. And now let's look at what we got here. Now we could train here, right? We did a quest and now we can train, right? Now here, this one's really good right here. This one's really good. This one's really good as well, right? But as you can see, our failure rate is very high right now, right? It's at 21%, which is kind of unfortunate. So there's a chance you're gonna fail this training. So sometimes you could risk it, right? When it's like 20 something, you could risk it and maybe try to get lucky. But yeah, you don't. If you fail, it's gonna suck. Okay. Of course, when you train focus or protection, you're actually gonna get energy as well, right? Stamina as well. So that's one way to increase your stamina as well, right? But for now, I'll show you guys, right? Let me try to risk this. Okay, I'll try to risk it on the vitality right here. So let's see. If we succeed, great. If we don't succeed, it will suck, right? Let's see. Okay, we succeeded, right? Great. All right, we got lucky there. Very good, right? And then yeah, you could pick it. I'll go with the recommended one. It's pretty good actually. This one's also really good. Prevent self HP from dropping below 20% after being attacked is pretty good. But I like this one right here. Restore self HP after using a basic attack is very good. Okay, so let's see if we got a good trade. See, now this one's really good as well right here, right? We got 3 in 1, which is really good, which is what you want. But unfortunately, the failure rate is 55%. And when that happens, you don't want to risk that, right? So that's most likely gonna fail. So this is a good time. So you look at your quest right here, right? And you see all the stuff right here. If you don't need anything, we don't need anything at the moment. So we're gonna rest actually, okay? This is a good time to rest. The quarter one is really good to rest at because it actually increases your mood as well. Your mood is also another important thing, okay? You want to keep an eye on, okay? Right now it's normal, but you ideally want this to be at the base status, okay? Because when that happens, when you actually train, you actually gonna get a lot more status based on the mood, okay? But for now we have normal, so we're gonna use this quarter one to rest. Whenever you rest, it gives you the 30 stamina. Or if you pick the quarter one, if you pick the free one, it gives you 30 as well. But if you pick the meditation room, it actually gives you the most right here. It could give you 60 up to 80 restoration point, which is really good, right? But for now we're gonna pick the quarter right here. All right, you're gonna rest to recover our stamina so we could train more, right? We're gonna skip everything right here. See, now our mood is good right here. You ideally want that to be based, okay? Because that's where you're gonna get the the highest possible like status, okay? When this happens, when it says hunt quest is accepted, whenever you do this, you're actually gonna get a gear right here, okay? You're gonna get one of these guys right here. Yeah, you get one of these gears right here, okay, based on the stage you pick right here. But right now we don't need to do any of this. But as you can see, it says right here, right? It says rank 12 right here, okay? and you look at your character, your characters are at rank 11, right? So if we do this rank 12 stage right here, we most likely gonna fail because we are not strong enough, right? You ideally want to be higher than the recommended rank right here, okay? But if we do the first one, this one we could do it because it's only rank 10, okay? But before you do any of the quests, you look at your training first, all right? Always look at your training and see what kind of things you could train, right? This one's really good, right? We could train that. So we're gonna train this instead of doing the hunt quest, right? So this is really good, so we're gonna train this. It gives me vitality and stuff like that, right? So you could increase your survivability, right? Of course, based on your training, it actually increases. This one, I'll pick this one, right? There are different events, different things you could pick. That was you just have to remember which event triggers what, okay? The more you do this journey, you're actually gonna be able to memorize most of the events, okay? Here we're not gonna do anything here, right? We're gonna wait because that will lower our mood, which we don't want to do, right? We don't want to do that, right? But now you could actually acquire potential as well, right? When you get to the stage when it's the D-Day, right? You could pick potential right here. Now I want to go for this one right here because it gives me speed, which is really good. But this one's also really good because effect hit by a certain percentage, right? Because Lacey does need to land debuffs, so this is really good. So we're gonna pick this one for her. And this is what I mean, right? There's a trade shop, and this is where you're gonna spend the coins, okay? And then you look at these guys, right? You look at your what's available here. Since we are training at DPS, we actually gonna be going for the training XP plus strength, the one because it will boost our main stats. So we're gonna go with that one. We're gonna buy it, right? Very good. And then if you need anything else, you could also buy it. But right now we don't need anything, so we're gonna just close it. And now you have your trial right here. We are at rank 12, and this trial is also rank 12, so we should be good here, hopefully. We're gonna skip battle and see if we can succeed here, okay? Hopefully we can succeed, so we don't fail the training. Very good, right? We succeeded, amazing, right? Okay. Now, after beating your first try battle, you could actually move on to training your main status right here, okay? Because, yeah, this is a good spot to start training your main status. And then once you max that out, you could actually just focus on the other stats as well, right? For my DPS or for most characters, I like going with strength max and then pushing vitality and endurance as close to the max as possible, okay? Because that's what makes your character a lot more stronger, okay? But for now, let's see. Okay, we do have a 21% failure rate, but we could risk it again and see if we could succeed. That'd be amazing if we succeed. Let's see. Beautiful, we succeed, right? So yeah, sometimes the gamble pays off, okay? We can skip all this, right? The event. Of course, we lowered our stamina because we are training, okay? Now we can't train because look at this, the failure rate is 78%, right? But this is really good right here, right? So sometimes you kind of want to make a guess on like maybe if I do this, if I rest now the next turn I might get something like this, right? So if I had rested previous turn, I would have been able to train this right here. But since I trained, I kind of messed up here because now it's a very high failure rate, so we can't train this, so we're gonna miss out on this amazing right here, right? This is what you want right here, okay? So you want multiple cards in one spot right here, okay? So you could actually push multiple multiple affinities at the same time, right? But now we have to race right here because we're not gonna be able to train that right here. So for this one, since we are really low on our stamina, I'm actually gonna pick the biggest one right here. That gives me the most amount of stamina right here. So we're gonna go with this one. Very good, right? Beautiful. See, we got 75, so we got a special trigger on that one. Very good. Okay, so I'll take some before, but now we're not gonna do that. We're gonna save our stamina. Now we can train. Very good, right? So let's look at everything, and the best one is this one because there's two at the same spot. So you want to train that, okay? So yeah, it's pretty much simple. You just want to keep an eye out for when you are training. You want to keep an eye out on what cards are where, right? And when you are, and you just want to keep in mind, and you want to keep an eye out on your mood, right? And your stamina bar right here, okay? Because to get the most out of your training, right? See, now we are at the base mood, right? This is what you want, okay? This is where you're gonna get the most stats right here. And we got the special one. Now this is perfect right here, okay? Because look at this, right? When you get this glowing event right here, it means you actually have an event triggering with your card right here. whenever this happens, you want to prioritize this, okay? Because this gives you the most. Look at this. Right now, it's giving me 50 plus 50 to my strength, which is insane. If you look at the other one right here, it's only 21 right here. Look at this, right? Only 770, right? Very low right here, right? You want to keep an eye out on this, right? And look at the percentage, right? It's 333%, which is insane. And we have failure rate of 0. This is perfect, right? So it's no brainer. We're gonna change that right here. And it's on our main stats as well, which is really good, right? So yeah, you just want to keep, whenever you train, you want to keep an eye out for those kind of stuff right here, okay? This one right here, this one scale with your max 3, so you don't want to pick this one. But this one scale with your attack, and bleed is going to be very, very important here, especially when you are fighting harder trial battles. Yeah, bleed gonna be really good. Yeah, whenever you see something like this that involves like that damage, you want to pick this because these actually make your character do so much damage to them. Okay, so we're gonna pick the ability one because that scales with our max attack right here, which is really good, right? So we're gonna skip all this. Now, when you were in this situation, you look at your training right here, and you look at, okay, it's not that good, right? There's 2 here, but it's not worth training that. So what we could do here is we could actually just do a quest here because we have good mood. We are at a good spot to do a quest here. So yeah, let's do a quest. Let's do the very easy one, right? You could do the very hard one, but it's not worth it, right? Just do this one, and you guys should be good, right? This is another way you guys can take, right? If you want to do this quest, it will require 217 strengths, but we have 253, so we could easily do this. But if you look at this one right here, it will require 79 protection, right? But we only have 18, so this is gonna be very difficult for us right here. And then if you look at this one right here, it will require 188 endurance, but we only have 124, so we cannot do that, right? So we're gonna do the easy one right here, and we'll be able to succeed that, right? So very simple. We just want to keep an eye out for those as well, right? Now, we did get a hunt quest, but let's look at our training and see what we have right here, okay? So if you look at everything right here, right? See, our focus is really good. Now, so because of that, we actually not going to do the hunt quest, right? This is way more better to do this one right here because there's 3 of them right here. So we are going to get 2 of them close to max, right? We already have 1 maxed out, which is really good. And now we're going to train focus as well. So let's do So we have trained focus, beautiful. That also give us stamina, which is really good as well. So this one, the accept my fate one is actually a lot better than the runaway option. So we're gonna do accept my fate. And it gives us a strength boost right here. Alright, very, very good right there. Buy it for, no, we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna save our money here. And now we are on another D-Day where we could pick up potential right here, right? See, based on the event that triggers, we actually unlock one of the special effects right here, right? One of this is the type of passive you guys want, because once you unlock them once, they're actually gonna get to max level right away. But these ones right here, the basic ones, you're actually gonna spend you're gonna need to spend a multiple potential point in order to get the max, okay? But for now, we're gonna go with the speed one right here because that's really good. And then let's look at what we got inside the shop right here, okay? So see, this one's not good, but this one's pretty good, right? Training XP for protection is not bad, but we don't need protection at the moment, so we're gonna skip on that, and we're gonna skip on this as well. This one's actually decent. Focus give us more crit, so we're gonna go with focus that one. And endurance. Now we are good to go, right? You could also refresh the shop right here, but it's not worth it, okay? Don't worry about refreshing the shop right here. Now we're gonna be fighting these ones. See, rank 70, but we are rank 19, so we are strong enough to do this, so we can skip the battle right here, right? Easy, right? And then that one's done, right? Beautiful, right? So see, now we got strength boost as well. Very good. Look at this, right? Event triggered and it gave me a random 20 point to my strength, which is really good right here. And we also unlocked a new character right here. So yeah, very, very good right here. These are your parents, right? The parents you used are actually going to become your allies inside the journey. So when you are fighting multiple enemies, it's actually going to be a lot easier to survive those fights because there's multiple of you in the team. And it's pretty good, right? And now you have this travel region ones, right? These ones are very good because they give you a really good status once you finish traveling. Yeah, so it gives you a lot of good status. So definitely want to go there right here when it happens, right? And as you guys can see, we got companion, join, and we have 2 cards now, which is amazing right here. And yeah, you could always go check out your potential point and acquire anything you want here, but we don't need anything at the moment. Now let's look at our quest first. So we have normal, and then normal right here, okay? So this one, we could easily do this as well. This one, it's a little higher than our status because we only have 296, but this one requires a 302 strengths. But we can still do it if we try to do that. But let's check out training first before we do anything. See? See, I already see really good ones, right? Look at this, right? Very good right here, right? And very good right here as well. So, uh, based on this one gives me a 220% bonus to my status, but this one only gonna give me 209, right? So, ideally, this is better. It's better to train this, but since we already have one maxed out here, I'm actually gonna go for this one, right? Because it's gonna be a waste start on the middle one because it's already at max bond. So we're gonna go to the focus one right here. Actually, it's better to train focus. So we could actually max 3 characters instead of 2, right? Now I paid solve it. Okay, this one I'll just pay to solve it right here. It's pretty good. Yeah, this gear is pretty good. It gives me effect resistance. It's actually pretty good. And now we get more energy from it too as well. And now we have, look at it, beautiful, right? We have another special training one right here. But let's look at what we have here, right? Okay, so we're gonna train our main stats. Beautiful, right? We have one of the special trainings right here, which is really good. And we can skip. And this one, okay. When this event triggers, you ideally want to pick the let's stick to the original plan one, okay? Some characters might prefer the let's take some time to relax, but oh, I didn't want to pick that. Damn it! You want to do the bottom option, okay? Lacey, she likes the bottom option than the top option, okay? But other characters they like the top option, right? Yeah, that's annoying. Okay, I don't want to do that because her mood went down too good, right? Which is annoying. I did not want to do that. Damn it, bro. Okay, it's fine though. Here. Not a good one, so let's look at our quest right here. And let's do a quest, okay? Very hard. This one, we probably most likely gonna fail, so we're not gonna do that one. Okay, so, okay. I think I'll do this one, the very easy one right here. Alright, so we could actually succeed. Skip all that. I'm gonna skip the upper level. I don't want to waste any of my resource here. Okay, this one... Very good, right? See, we have one of the special training as well. 180, it's not a lot on the percentage, but it's still pretty good, right? So let's train our vitality. Actually, it's actually better to train this because here we also have another maxed out, card right here. Yeah, I'll do this one right here. This one's better. So we're gonna do this one right here to increase our focus and to increase the bond of the other characters. Hey, look at this. This one is insane right here. Look at 300% right here. 45 to our main status, 18 on our endurance, and then it also gives us 16 potential point. If we look at everything, this one is the best one, so we're gonna go with this one right here. Beautiful. All right. We're also gonna get bonding goods for 3 cards right here at the same time. Right. Very, very good right here. And this one, this is for your Belle character right here, okay? For Belle, she ideally wants effective trait because she does have a lot of debuffs, so we're gonna go with effective trait right here. Very good right there, so we can skip everything. Anyways, you guys got the idea, right? How this train works, okay? I'll try to complete the journey off screen, so the video won't be too long. It's already at 32 minutes, okay? And I'll show you the final result, okay? Okay, another one is when you guys are in a situation like this where you do get the special training right here, but if you look at the top one, our main stats also really good because there's 3 of them in the same spot right here. So here, which one's better? When you look at this, you ideally would say this one, but for me personally, I think this one is the best one because it gives me a boost to my main status, plus it's gonna give me the bond level for 3 different training partners, okay? So this is a base one. Of course, the percentage for this one is 253 right here on the status gain, but this one only 230. But this one is still way better than this one in my opinion. So we gotta go for this one right here, okay? So you kind of want to make those type of decisions, okay, when you guys are doing this, okay? So yeah, just want to show you guys real quick, okay? Okay, guys. See, as you guys see now, we can actually unlock one of the special passives right here, right? Which is that increase the one that increases speed, which is really good. So if we pay 200 right here, as you guys see, it will go straight to max level, right? But these ones, I will still need to spend more potential point in order to push them to max level, right? So yeah, these ones are the ones you want to prioritize unlocking. So you ideally, right? Some people, what they do is they're gonna save all their potential point until the end of the journey. That way they can spend everything at the end and pick the best options, right? So you guys can do that do it like that as well, but it will make going through the journey a lot harder, okay? I like picking the passives as I go, but some people prefer saving everything and using it as the end, right? So yeah, depending on how you guys want to play, you guys can do that as well. Okay, now we got to this part. Now this is also another important choice you guys have to make, okay? So the first thing is you look at this whenever you use this event right here where you will be traveling to one of these places. If you guys are training at DPS, you ideally want to go to the beach area right here. The reason is because it gives you the 5 strengths and the 5 focus boost right here. But if you guys are training a healer or a tank, you guys want to go to this frozen place right here because it gives you a 5% increase to your health and health again, and then also protection. Okay, so for my DPS, I'm gonna go to the beach right here. Right, so just keep that in mind. Okay. Okay, so when you guys are inside these special training places, I'm on the beach right now, right? You actually gonna get so much bonus status to your training right here, okay? Look at this, it's already way too high, right? Way higher than the normal training regiment, right? So definitely when you get to this area where you pick this special training area, you want to be at max stamina as possible, okay? You want that green bar to be at full, okay? So you guys can actually spend this time training as much as possible, right? Instead of resting or doing other things, okay? So right now we are at a really good spot right here because we got pretty good, condition right now, stamina right now, and yeah, we should be good here. We're gonna be training our main stats right here. This is where you're gonna get most of the stats, okay? To be able to max your main stats or other stats you guys want to max, okay? But her mood went down, unfortunately, right? I do want her mood to be based as well, right? So that way you can get the most stats, okay? Right now, right? So look at this, right? Look at the bonus right here. 320 right here, right? You get 190 up here. Here I'm actually going to train focus so I could get more stamina out of it, okay? So that way I could train more later on, okay? So we're going to train focus right here. So it gives us more stamina to spend on the next training, which is really good. This one, I am going to just do this one right here, right? The one that works with status right here. So we can skip everything. Beautiful, right? We got a bunch of buffs as well. See, now we can train a little bit more now. So look at this, right? The percentage is all going to be really high anyways, right? So this one's already maxed, so you don't want to train that. You want to train something that's not maxed out yet. Now she's not maxed out, so we're going to be training our main stats right here. Look at this, it's giving us just the base training is giving us like 40 plus status to our main stats, right? Which is really good, right? As you can see, we are very close to maxing out our strengths. Now, you guys can actually just focus on the different stats, okay? Because you don't want to focus on this, right? By the time you're in the journey, you guys should be able to max strengths very easily, okay? But let's look at our other trainings right here. So we're gonna train focus here, all right? You don't want to train the strengths at the moment because it's very close to being maxed. So when that happens, you could focus on the different stats rather than the main stats, okay? Here I'm just gonna do, so it's gonna be applying for my Banniger and Charlotte. So for both those two, I think speed is gonna be important. So we're gonna go with speed right here, right? The fidget spinner thingy right here, very cool. I think we have like one more day to train right here, which is amazing. This one, let's use our strengths to keep these guys out of this place right here. And now we can train one more, right? Beautiful, right? Look at this. See, right now we could train our main stats, but I am actually going to train our my HP right here, right? Because we are very close to maxing out our strength, so it's not worth training it right now. Let's focus on different stats right here. So we can focus on this one right here, right? The health. Now the special trainings have ended. So at the end, you're actually gonna be able to pick different stats, right? I already picked the ones that give me 18% crit and 8% speed. These passives are based on the cards you use, right? The arcana you use, right? So that's why arcanas are very important, right? But we did unlock a new one right here that increase our crit as well. So we're gonna pick that one up, and then we're gonna save the rest for later. And then we could also buy different things right here. I'm actually gonna buy the one that gives us 36 strength, which is really high. And then I'm actually gonna get this one as well that restores stamina, which is really good as well. So there you go. All right. And then and then we could do quest. See, we are at rank 44, but these guys are only 41, so we should be able to just delete them very quickly. Yeah, see, easy, right? And we did get a new item as well that increases our fake hit rate, which is really good for all 3 of my characters I'm using right here. So very good right there. And then it shows you all the objectives you have done so far. Now, if you look at our objective, we are very close to ending this. It's a 38 out of 45. So yeah. And we also got a special training as well, which is really good.
But let's look at the other ones, right? See, this one's the best one, so we're gonna go train focus right here because there's 3 of them at the same spot right here, which is really good. Beautiful, right? So yeah, journey is, the more you do it, the easier it's gonna be. Okay. Beautiful art, by the way. Who's lazy right here? We're gonna skip everything right here. Okay. See, right now we are looking very, very nicely right here. Okay. And then let's look at our training. Right now we don't need to train anything because this is what you want. Okay. By the end of your journey, you want to have everything maxed out like this. Okay. Max right here, max right here, max right here, because that's where you're gonna get the most of the event to trigger, right? Once they are at max rank. Okay. Since we don't need to train anymore, we're actually gonna do a quest here, so that way we could get more of these coins right here. So I'm gonna do the very, very easy one right here, the one we can actually beat, right? And then we gonna skip everything right here. That also restore our stamina. So yeah, whenever you encounter those events, it's really good. Okay, here I'm actually gonna train focus again, but so it gives me more stuff right here. And it also gives me stamina, which is really good. Okay, we're gonna skip everything right here. And now some event trigger like this. So striker with modern force. I would do the heater with full force right here, which should be good. We're just gonna call locksmith for that one, right? Now we also got another special passive right here. That's sharp assault, which increases our attack and crit rate by 6%, which is really good right here. So we gotta pick that up as well. And then on the trade right here, let's look at what we have right here. Okay, we have ones that increase vitality, so we actually gonna pick that one up right there. And then this one gives us potential points, so I'm actually gonna buy that as well. This one is not needed, it gives me 16 focus and 16 protection, but we don't need those status for our DPS as much. And now we get, see, 46, 47, we are strong enough to beat this, so we can skip the battle. We should be able to just, delay them easy, right? Let's keep all this, right? See, just by training other status, that also gives me a little bit of strength. I'm already maxed out on my strength status. Now, you guys can easily focus on your other stats right here, right? You ideally want to have at least 2 to 3 stats maxed out by the end of the journey, so that way you get the base, training data and stuff like that. Okay, but for now, I don't think we're gonna be able to max out 2 different stats at the same time, unfortunately, because we don't have a lot of time to go before we end the journey. So, but it's fine. We still have B rank on Indra, so it's pretty decent as well. Right here, see, this is why we should be training, but I'm not gonna train because it's already at max, and there's no point in doing that right there. So we're gonna pick something else. I'm actually gonna just train endurance right here, right? We're gonna try to push endurance in halves at this point. See, it's giving me more health as well. Very good. And then we're gonna train even more stats right here. So look at this, man. This is insane. Look at this, 4 at the same spot right here. We're gonna train more of that again, just to increase our endurance at least, right? To push our endurance a little bit higher, right? So my lazy can survive longer and stuff like that in the final battle as well. And now we are pretty much just close to the end. We're gonna save the rest of the points for later. And let's look at what we have. See, strength, we don't need to buy anything there. I'm actually gonna just buy focus right here. And then we're gonna buy the chicken steak as well. That gives me endurance. Pretty good. And then we're gonna do the trial battle. And now, yeah, this is pretty much the end of the run, because once we fight this chick right here, it's pretty much GG's. So we just skip the battle right here, right? Yeah, man, I was hoping the video won't be too long, but yeah, it's already at 42 minutes, guys, which is crazy. Okay, yeah, this is not the best data, but you ideally want at least 2 different status to be maxed out, right? So we're in the journey. Yeah, it's not that good, but see, yeah, B rank is also still not bad. So pretty good, I guess. Now you can spend most of your save point right here. I'm actually gonna unlock one of the other special paths, and then we're actually gonna focus on our crit right here. But yeah, that's pretty much. We did waste 104 potential point because unfortunately, but it's okay. We're gonna end the journey, and we're gonna see what kind of save data we're gonna get here, right? We're gonna skip all this, right? Journey ended. Yeah, it's definitely one now. My base. See, it's not good, right? But you guys get the idea how journey works and stuff like that, right? I'm not gonna equip it, right? But I'll show you what kind of passive we unlocked with that data right here. This is the data I have on her, which at the moment, the one we unlocked is this right here. But let's see. See, we have so many really good blessings as well right here. The ones that increase speed, crit, right, effective rate, and attack and crit as well. So yeah, you guys get the idea how that works, right? So that's how Journey works. Let me know if you guys, are able to, get really good data on your characters and stuff like that. And yeah, thanks for watching. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. And bye bye.